Radio, Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast. Please hit the red subscribe button on YouTube South Florida Tribune. We're striving for 1,000 subscribers. Please also comment, like, and share the broadcast. Want to be a guest? No problem. Just contact us at South Florida Tribune at gmail.com. And you can also mention your topics there, or in other ways, participate in the chat room, and you'll get in that way as well. If you want to advertise cost efficiently, call me 954-304-4941. We broadcast live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Our website is www.southfloridatribune.com, Twitter at Tribune South. Candy Ebling is behind the scenes, and I've already talked about Motor City Mad Mouse Show, and obviously Dr. Edwin Hernandez, who owns a technology-based company for which I'm the president of that portion of the business. All right, now on to introduce the crew for the night. George Eichhorn, welcome back.
Good to be back, Scott. Good evening, everyone.
Jacob Christner, long time no see.
Another about 27 seconds.
It's been a great show over there tonight.
Oh, yeah.
www without the www.WayneWeinstein.com. No, not quite. Wayne Weinstein, welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be here tonight.
No, it's WW without the Weight Watchers.
Yeah, there you go.
Just needs Weight Watchers now.
We can have a lot of fun with those couple of W's for sure. And last but not least,
Clinton's being mean tonight.
I'm always them.
Last but not least, okay, Mr. Jeremy Ballrick. Welcome back, Jeremy.
Glad to be here, Scott. Good to see everybody.
All right, well, let's get on to the topics at hand. We're going to be talking some South Florida sports for sure, and we have other things as well. So, first of all, I guess the big topic in these parts is that Lionel Messi. Well, we got Terry Foster. I have to bring on Mr. Foster. Are you out there? Is that the real Terry Foster, George?
The picture's real.
Yeah, it sure is. Hey, Terry, welcome to the big
I
show.
only do great ones for the other teams, too.
All right, Terry, good to see you. Look forward to seeing you when I get back home at some point. All right, so I like being able to put those things up there right away. Now, let's talk about some topics in South Florida. Lionel Messi is joining Inter Miami on July 21st. What impact will he have on the South Florida fan base? MLS Inter Miami club owner George Mas told Spanish newspaper El País that it took 3 years to complete the deal. You know what, Wayne? You're going to be the last authority on this because you're obviously locally. But, George, let's face it, 3 years to complete a deal for a mega guy like this.
Yeah, it's incredible, Scott. Lionel, he's going to be doing a great job, not only from a competitive standpoint, of course, he's renowned on the turf. I mean, he's going to be fantastic, obviously, to the team as a player, but just the marketing aspect and the exposure that the team's going to get. It's an incredible opportunity for Miami and for South Florida. And I think it's going to go off without a hitch. I mean, they've been, like you said, they've been working on this thing for years and years to put this all together. And like I told you on a previous show, Detroit, we had that same thing happen when we went to get a guy named Trevor Francis. Trevor Francis from, I believe, Manchester. He was very difficult to get a hold of, but Detroit did that, and it took several years to complete. So I'm very familiar with getting a superstar like that to come into the fold, and I'm happy for South Florida. He's going to be a real great addition to the sports scene down there.
Looking forward to a very busy chat room. We'll start it off with Chad. Hi, all. Hi, Chad. You're going to be on here soon enough. I already mentioned Terry Foster. Enzo Snipes. What a man of integrity, and love the guy, big George Eichhorn, the Detroit heavyweight champion. All right, George.
Well, he got it by he basically got it by a bye.
Mitch Weinstein, allegedly July 21st. Okay, well, you know what? That's what it is. And, of course, we've got Jeremy. Go ahead and start reading them, Jeremy.
Jeremy Ballrick Jr. saying, "Hi, Dad. I didn't know I had a junior."
Okay, well, now you do. All right, go ahead.
Smoker Jeremy V looking like he's getting a judge to sign a warrant, LOL. And right. Chad replied, LOL at Denzel.
There we go. All right, that's what I love. All right, so with that said, Jacob, Lionel Messi.
But you said absolutely that they've been working years. Here's the thing. Here's a little money deal. Here's a little money lesson. It's for wealth, and I'm looking for mine myself. It's all timing. Every ounce fit is timing. If it was ready, it wouldn't have been years. It would have been right away. But guess what? A women's game got 80,000 people. A men's game just filled the Coliseum. Filled it.
The Rose Bowl.
Yeah, Rose Bowl. Thank you.
Difference between the two.
Yeah, got it. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Rose Bowl. It filled it. This is the time to get a Lionel Messi. This is the time to get them. So this is the perfect thing. He sees it now. And as far as that 18,000 seat place, it ain't going to be there long. They're not every single game. They're going to start going to football stadiums and stuff because they're not going to feel to fit everybody. Maybe 1 or 2 games before you start seeing them try to go to let's see the Hurricane Stadium to Dolphin Stadium. You start waiting because they're not going to be able to fit everybody in there that wants those tickets.
True. Okay.
Good point.
Well, Jeremy?
Well, the main thing that the fans are going to see a difference of is the price tag of their tickets, as the Candy Edling has mentioned. 4.5 times the normal price, an average of $24.52 to $124.51 per ticket on StubHub. That's not even through Ticketmaster or whoever sells at the office. On top of that, the other thing that Miami has to look forward to, they will score at least 1 goal per game the rest of the year because Lionel will make sure that happens.
Okay, and last but not least, guess what, Wayne?
Okay. So as you mentioned, this is something that Inter Miami has been working on for a couple of years. They've been working on their DPs, their players, designated players. Last year they signed too many. They got hit with some sanctions because of that. But Beckham, knowing Messi, didn't hurt. Okay, he was able to get him to come in. Aside from getting him to come in, he's also getting other players that he played with at Barcelona to come in. First of all, he got the coach that he wanted in Tata Martino. That's going to be huge. He played with him at Barcelona. Tata Martino has also coached other guys that are currently on Inter Miami that played with him for Atlanta United. He's going to bring in Sergio Busquets, another player he played with over at Barcelona. There's also talk about potentially Sergio Ramos and Jordi Alba coming in as well. So if they can bring in all these guys, now obviously they're going to have to get rid of players that are currently on the team in order to make room for this. But as Jacob was saying, yeah, you're going to go from an 18,000 seat stadium. They're going to upgrade it to 21,000. Okay. However, we know that's probably not going to be enough because of the fact that season ticket holders had their tickets pulled from them. And like when they would go to look for their tickets, there was nothing there. So they're getting tickets now game by game. So they don't even have that complete where they can see all their tickets. So that's basically what this has done to Inter Miami. Now, to pay Messi, that was a league-wide thing. Okay, MLS said we're going to pay part of it. Apple, which now has the rights to all the games, is going to give him a portion of the gate from whatever TV feeds. So he's getting, and then he's got all kinds of bonus clauses in his contract as well. Okay, so yes, it's going to be a huge thing, not only for Inter Miami, but for MLS, because aside from selling out Inter Miami Stadium, it's going to sell out every other stadium that he goes to visit. So it's going to be huge. And as you guys mentioned, over 82,000 for LA Galaxy against LAFC, which is the largest attendance in MLS history. So it's doing huge things just for the league.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take it over to baseball. I don't know where you were on your 4th of July, but I know where I was on mine. But the Miami Marlins are currently 50-37 going into tonight's meeting with the St. Louis Cardinals. Their offensive firepower, to me, was on display with a July 4th 15-2 blowout under new manager Skip Schumacher. Are they a dangerous postseason opponent, George Eichhorn? George.
He looks for
George is frozen in time.
Yeah, well, we'll go to Whitney Houston. Say one moment in time. All right.
Yeah,
So
right.
Turn it over to Jacob, the Miami
Yeah,
Marlins.
yeah, there he goes. There you go. Yes, they would be. It's like it just depends on how. Truthfully, it depends on how the pitchers handle the spotlight. But really, it's like by itself, you're looking at. We talk about Miami. There's people saying just how bad Philadelphia is. No, they're not. This is just a monster division. The Braves and the Braves. I mean, thing is, we talk about the Marlins. The Braves absolutely scorched them. I mean, and Marlins beating everybody else. So it's like this is just a tough division. I mean, the Braves are the best team in baseball. Marlins are coming up, and that's the big thing. Their offense. This is the thing. It just depends if I don't think they're ready yet, just because the Braves are there. But wow, if you get some people. If they can get some people, there's a trade deadline, and we're going to see what Kim Ng does at the trade deadline. They can be very interesting if she makes some good moves there.
Okay, Jeremy.
What can you say? The Braves are hot right now, and a lot of it has to do with area. I want to say his name right, Ariza.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
If it wasn't for him and that timely pitching they have, they wouldn't be where they're at. And with the 28 roster fees paid out, that's a pretty good combination. You have a low roster cost, which means if they had a little bit more fan appreciation showing up at the games, they would probably have the highest grossing ticket sales out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this Luis Arias guy is just unbelievable. I've had a chance to watch him and what he's
385 average.
Yeah.
And Candy comes in and says Miami is off to his second best start to a season through the club's first 87 games in franchise history, behind only the 1997 World Series team, 51-36.
There you go. Now you have it. All right, Wayne.
Yeah, so basically when we look at the Marlins, you're getting great pitching performances daily from Braxton Garrett. You're getting good pitching from Jesus Luzardo. Yuri Perez, the kid they brought up, 20 years old, been throwing well. So, everyone's been throwing great other than Sandy Alcantara, last year's Cy Young Award winner. So think about if he can get himself back to where he was, and that team is going to be even that much better. They brought in veterans. Segura, while he hasn't played great, he is a veteran presence in that dugout and in that locker room. So, and you've got players like Soler, who last year didn't have a great year. This year he's got 21 home runs. So again, everything's gelling a bit together this year. Get a free agent signing and Yuli Gurriel played well. Garrett Hampson, another one. He's come in, he's played well when he's been in, was in the minors, got sent to the minors. Now that Jazz is out again, and now that Jonathan Davis got hurt, he was brought back. So again, but he's been there before. So you've got guys that are stepping up and doing what they need to do. Tonight, they've scored so far 8 runs after 15 last night. So, as long as we can go, and see other teams other than the Braves, we're fine.
All right, George.
Well, I tell you what, it's an exciting time for baseball in Miami. There's no question about it. A great team. You got speed. You got good pitching. You're playing some good defense. And, of course, you got the hitters. Like Candy said in her comment about being off to the second best start in franchise history, unbelievable. I'm happy for the Marlins. As you know, I know Scott has covered them for many years, and South Florida's got to be very, very, very happy with the baseball situation down there. It's a great start to. Now it's already into July. Half of the season is almost gone, but I think Miami Marlins are for real.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. All right, let's go to chat room, Jeremy.
The first one that Chad said, and then he'll talk about. I'll get to that. Marlins have a history of trading off all their talent. They won't give their players second contracts. and then they dumped Cabrera and Stanton. And Denzel Snipes says, I still got love for Yuli.
Yeah, sure.
About time the Marlins came back. They're finally doing it without Stanton. You know, Stanton was great for them, but what did they do with Stanton? They did not do this well, because this team is about their rookies and about their second and third year guys. They're one of those teams, just like the Tampa Bay Rays, that develop a great farm system. And when they lose somebody, they bring somebody up and they fill the role.
All player development. When you're strapped for cash, you better find a way to develop on your own. And that's the model that they're doing for sure. The Tampa Bay Rays are really good at it. And the Atlanta Braves have gone out there and done it. You want something else you want to say, Wayne?
Yeah, I was going to say, Stanton is going to go down as the type of player similar to what a Dave Kingman was years ago. I mean, decent defensively, but, you know, he'll hit some home runs, but he never hits for average, and he strikes out a lot. That's what he did down here.
Right.
So,
yeah, I'll tell you though, Giancarlo Stanton, some of his bombs when they really go a long, long way. And yeah, Dave Kingman was a free swinger in more ways than one, that's for sure. And you know, Candy mentions that they have a lot of great energy and they really support each other and they're having fun. It's obvious, you can easily see that. All right, well, now that we got the South Florida topics out of the way, have a couple of other ones. So now we'll go in regular order. Jacob Christner will lead off. J.J. Watt joining CBS as an NFL studio analyst.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, love it. No, he's got a tremendous personality. He's got a phenomenal personality. And one of the things about it is the fact that here's what you're also going to see. I can guarantee this. He loses about 45 pounds, you know, by itself. We're not going to see. It's just like we're going to see it gradually, just like Howie Long did. You know, as those times when he came in, he was basically a box in a suit. Now he's all slimmed down. That's what's going. J.J. Watt's going to be, because for one thing, he's going to need it for his back. He's got a bad back. He's going to need that thing. He's going to need to drop that weight, and he's going to have to do that kind of stuff, and especially for this kind of world. So you're not going to see the 295-pound J.J. Watt anymore, 300-pound J.J. Watt. You're going to see probably about 230 or 240. So it's like, that's the thing. It's going to be a different world, but he's ready for that, you know?
Okay, we'll turn over to Wayne.
yeah, he's going to bring a lot of personality, I think, to the broadcast, not to mention a lot of insight on you know, what the defensive line is looking at on every snap, and the offensive line. You know, he may be able to tell you, all right, well, this is the reason why the offensive lineman did this, or the defensive lineman. So I think he's going to bring a different look to the game, because, you know, not too often have you had many defensive linemen as, you know, broadcasters. A lot of times you've had quarterbacks and offensive types of players. Not very often have you had someone from the other side of the ball, though.
Jeremy?
J.J. Watt has already started to lose weight. You could see that on his Twitter when he posted about working. He accidentally had a typo. I'm going to be a spokesperson for CBS on his Twitter. But that being said, he looked like he dropped about 20 pounds already. I'm going to say he's about 275 already. So he's dropping weight already because he's not working out to get in shape for the season. He's not bulking up, eating all the carbs. And it is a great addition, as Denzel says here, great addition by CBS. Watt is going to be awesome for them. I think it'll be nice to see more of the defensive side of the ball commentary versus, oh, this quarterback is this, and this running back is this, and this wide receiver is that. It's going to be nice to say, hey, look at this guy on this defense. This guy's the next me. That's the type of stuff you're going to hear from J.J. Watt.
Yeah. And you brought up, by the way, you also brought up that thing. You also have Joe Thomas, who's about 225 now. So it's working. And then I brought up Howie Long earlier. So, yeah, we don't get him too much from those sides of the ball, but you're right on that.
Well, all I can say is it's good to see defense getting in as a television analyst for sure, right? We'll let George Eichhorn hope that his third time is the charm. What are your thoughts about J.J. Watt going to be a TV analyst?
I am happier than a pig in you know what. J.J. Watt is a good Polish guy. And one day we hope to enshrine him in the National Polish American Sports Hall of Fame located in Troy, Michigan. I've always admired his work ethic. He's been a great athlete. He's been a role model. He's been honored by the NFL Man of the Year award or nominee for so many years. And you're right, Scott. It's good to have a defensive mind too in that broadcast booth. Well, in the studio, he's doing the studio show.
Yeah.
But someday I expect to see him as a color commentator or analyst too on NFL games. But I'm happy for him. Good job, JJ.
All right, back to the chat room. Candy Abling, JJ Watt. He's from Wisconsin. Okay. And Denzel Snipes. His personality is being built on being a beast, so he won't stay to 95. He'll get down to 250. Well, I guess that's safe to say. All right, back to Chad. How many one-year contracts were on that 97 team? There you go. And then we've got good evening every evening, Smoking Jeremy B and panel from John Robinson. Nice to hear from you. It really is. So, John, if you want to be a guest on here, please subscribe to the South Florida Tribune YouTube channel. I have no problem bringing you on as a guest. Smoking Jeremy B will tell you that, to me, there's nothing better than bringing in new blood to be able to interact with us, right, Jeremy?
John is one of my first fans. He was a fan of mine even before I had my own show. He used to come on to Detroit Lions on the Prowl and is the one that coined the Smoking Jeremy B nickname.
Well, there you
And
go.
he's a great Rams coach. Oh, wrong one.
Yeah, that's funny.
Quit to Quit is a good one. He was joining the Lion bandwagon mid-season.
Okay, well, there we go. We'll keep it rolling. Well, George Eichhorn will be off the rest of the show. I know he's having technical difficulties. We'll hopefully bring him on another time. So, all right, let's talk about what are the chances that Damian Lillard becomes a member of the Miami Heat. We're going to lead off with Wayne on this.
Wow. It's hard to say. I mean, the Heat don't have many assets to give up. Obviously, it is going to require a third or a fourth team. But you know what? With Pat Riley at the helm, you never count anything out. Because if anyone can make this happen, it's going to be Riley.
Jeremy?
I agree with Wayne on Pat Riley. What I don't agree with, I think it's only going to take a third team because 4-team trades are so rare. I think it'll be a third team. Somebody's going to be swapping a first pick from a second team to make it happen because Damian Lillard, the only thing he's missing is a team around him. And I would love to see him go to a team like Miami or a team that's rebuilding where they got core pieces together to go around him because it can't be just him.
Makes sense. All right, Jacob?
I could see Riley. I could see it happen because Riley, I mean, he is a genius. I really believe this. But I've said myself, I wanted him in Philly with Embiid. And Maxey. But I think Maxey would have to go for this. But I want him there, and I want Harden the hell out of there. I mean, I have been wanting this for ages. I did not want him there in the first place. I had Philly to win it before they threw Harden in there. So I could not stand it. I want to see this, but at the same time, they don't have much because they gave their assets up for Harden. So I could see Miami. What?
Well, here's how I see
No,
it.
what'd you say? Someone said something?
No.
No. Anyway, no, but I could see. I stopped because I thought I heard something. No, you could see Miami. You could maybe the long shot of Portland, because you never know, of staying with them. But overall, I can't really tell, but I'm going to give it to Miami 60%.
Here's where I see this whole thing going. Number one, for this trade to get pulled off, they're going to need more 2 teams. They really are. I think you're going to need 3 or 4 or 5 teams. And Portland ultimately gets what they want in Damian Lillard in Miami. If there's anybody that can pull it off, it's Pat Riley for sure. So, Wayne, anything else you want to add to this?
No, I mean, like I said, Miami only has so much, and that's the problem. Portland, they're pretty guard heavy right now, and that seems to be what Miami has and what they're offering. So yeah, it's definitely going to take minimum of a third team.
Yeah, I'd say so. All right, our final topic of the night is what, if any, was your biggest sports moment over the July 4th weekend? Jacob?
Otani. I'm just saying that July 4th. I'm just bringing back to June and everything like that. Okay, another thing. But I was going to bring that. I was bringing it June, but I'll bring another one. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Forget the guy's name because I don't pay attention to that kind of
Joey
stuff.
Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut, thank you. Not only does he win, but he takes out one of those stupid Just Say Oil protesters while he's eating, and he's chowing it down. And he takes him by the neck and cranks him down and throws him out of the way. That is a hero in my own heart. So thank you, Joey Chestnut, because personally that guy deserved an even bigger beating in the first place, especially all the damage that they do to art and the place whatsoever for no reason.
All right, turn over to you, Wayne.
Yeah, Jacob. Yeah, definitely. That's something that my family, we've sat down and watched for years, like religiously. Back when Kobayashi was eating, and he was the hot dog eating champion. And you look at some of these guys, Kobayashi was maybe 125 pounds soaking wet. And you wonder, how do these guys eat 50, 60 hot dogs? And now you got Joey Chestnut up to 76 hot dogs. I mean, it's ridiculous because you start thinking, what do you have, 6 or 7 hot dogs in a package?
Right.
I mean,
76 hot dogs and beating up dumbass protesters.
Yeah. I mean, in 10 minutes, I mean, he's eating literally 10 packages of hot dogs and buns. I mean, it's ridiculous. And even the women, I mean, you got Mickey Sudo, who's won
39
the last few years. She's won it the last few years. But and then before that, who'd you have? Sonia Thomas, I think it was. And it's just crazy the amount that these people eat. Not only that, I mean, it's just amazing. You get paid to be a professional eater. I mean, that's the greatest coup in the world. Get paid to eat. I mean, seriously? I mean, it's amazing. You don't see any of these guys on a Weight Watchers commercial talking about WW.
Because they don't have any weight on them.
Well, some of them do.
Yeah.
But not all of them. Eric, there used to be one Eric Badlands Booker, who was a big hulking guy.
I remember
like
that
400
guy.
pounds. And you'd think from looking at him, nobody else would have a chance because he would just throw him down his mouth. But he never even usually would get in the top 3.
Right.
But yeah, the amount of hot dogs that Joey Chestnut eats, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And even if it's not, he could even do a commercial for Tums.
I'm sure he could. All right, Jeremy, read Chad's comment. Sorry, George, you'll be back on another night.
The one lady got cheated. Big controversy.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. All I know is I knew as soon as they said that there was a thunderstorm delay that thing was going to stop because these guys condition themselves by fasting. They stretch their stomach for like 30 days straight, and then they don't eat for a day prior to this. So they've stretched their stomachs to its capacity, and the metabolism these guys have to have is incredible. The fact that they don't look like I did pre-heart attack. But that being said,
I wouldn't do it. I would never do anything like that.
No. That being said, as soon as it was going to be more than a 30-minute delay, you should know it was going to get called. And he already had 62 down. 62 down, and I think they were what, only 15 minutes into the contest or something like that when it got delayed. They weren't going very long.
Oh yeah. No question. And it's like I'll tell you one thing, there's a lot of things. I would love to try American Ninja Warrior one day, just to say it. I'd love to try the World Series of Poker. I'm just saying I'd love to do it just to say I did it once. I'd probably fall the first 30 seconds or less. But what the hell, right?
I'd love to take one of these guys to an all-you-can-eat buffet and just sit there and watch them.
Well, personally, to me, my main thing is the more realistic version is I like to do the World Series of Poker. That's the more realistic one. But yeah, it's like either way. But I would never do a hot dog eating contest.
World Series of Poker. Well, I did the Rolex 24. You know what? My biggest moment for July 4th, watching Miami Marlins hammer the St. Louis Cardinals 15-2. And the interesting part about the game is you had 2 position players actually pitching last night. So go figure. I mean, and Candy, we'll go ahead and she'll build on that thought. Jeremy.
Marlins, 2 position players pitching in the last inning and a blowout for both teams, both the Marlins and the Cardinals. Marlins win 15-2. Oh, let's see. What was my sporting moment? Because I wasn't getting into I was just commenting on the Nathan's thing.
Well, you are now, though. Go ahead.
Let's see. I got out of bed without getting a muscle cramp. There's my sporting event of the day.
Get in shape, Ballreich.
I am shape. Rounds of shape.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, there you have it. Okay. Well, you know what? Now it's time for parting shots. So, Jacob, lead off.
To Kimming, let me say this. I know this isn't a thing because I had said this before. I did not know if you'd get the 3rd year. You proved me right. You proved me wrong. Thank you very much, Scott. I didn't know if you'd get it, but you've gotten it, and you took advantage with this team that you've got. You've took full advantage of it, and it's like, you know what you did? This was your shot left. This is the Justin Fields 1 shot left thing that people did not know. And it's like, and guess what? This is what I call that. And the thing is, guess what now? You're going to either get a big contract or go somewhere else. I didn't want you in Miami because I wanted you with the White Sox or somebody else. I didn't think they had a chance. You were given a chance. You've taken the most of it. And now this team's going to go to the playoffs. And the biggest thing about this is you've helped a lot of women in this league get themselves a GM job in the future. And good job for you.
I like that one. All right, Wayne, go ahead.
I think everything that's been happening with South Florida sports is just awesome, and now to see the Marlins doing this, is phenomenal. You look at everything the Dolphins have done in the offseason, and there's nothing but hope here for everything that's going on. Now I just have to see how the Hurricanes do, and if Mario Cristobal can actually make them relevant again.
Okay, Jeremy.
Chad Datima has a comment about the 4th year. Says I played 1-on-1 with the 10-year-old neighbor boy and beat him 10-0. Oh, that's great. My parting shot is the American League Central has to be the worst division in Major League Baseball right now, because the fact that the Tigers are 10 games below 500 and still only 5.5 out of first is appalling.
Hey, they also lost tonight 12-3 to Oakland.
Right. Hey, they scored 3 runs. When I last looked,
Yeah.
it was 12-0. So
Yeah.
woo, they had a hit show in the 9th.
Yeah. Tell me how you really feel. All right. Well, I got a unique parting shot. Ready for this one? It's Rick DiPietro Day. We always talk about Bobby Bonilla. The Islanders have paid former goalie Rick DiPietro $1.5 million every July 1st since their contract buyout in 2013, and will continue to until 2029. How about that? We talk about Bobby Bonilla, Rick DiPietro. You earned a little bit of time on the Sports Exchange because you had a really good agent. So.
Ballreich, they're trying to catch up to your vast wealth. That's what it is.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I've enjoyed the camaraderie. We started with 5 and ended up with 4. Okay. And I'm looking forward to a full crew when JB Ellis comes back next week. So,
Yeah.
With that said, let's go ahead and here we go. We'll go ahead with another comment from Candy Ebling. Let's see. Well, I like Chad. Let's go ahead with Chad. All right. I play 1-on-1 with a 10-year-old neighbor boy and beat him 10-0. Okay. There you go. Here's his claim to fame. And Candy Marlins score successful 26.5 million in partial on the DL. Very good stat. I like that one, Candy. So with that said, Jacob, why don't you let everybody know how they can get a hold of you?
Sunday nights, Basket Bros. Monday nights, Pundit Views for now. But then we are going to have a show. Me and Denzel are going to have a show called The Top Rope, Off the Top Rope. We're going to be having it starting in August. So I'm going to be replacing the Pundit. I'll be replacing Pundit Views pretty soon. So Tuesdays, nothing. Wednesdays, these 3 shows, the Pundit's Pundit, this show, and Confidential. Working on getting the Thursday show back, and then I'm back up on a couple of the other shows, plus working on some movie ideas and stuff. So staying busy.
Okay, Wayne.
I guess you can find me here when Scott has me on the South Florida Tribune show, or you can reach me on Twitter at WEW612.
Okay, Jeremy, you're next.
All right, as you can see, my Twitter handle is right next to my name. It's at Smoking Jeremy B. You can find me on the South Florida Tribune YouTube channel any night Scott needs me, and pretty much that's going to be every time he needs me, including on Sundays when we at 10 a.m. when we do the Professor and the Pupil,
Which I'll be on, I guess,
guest
possibly.
starring Jacob
Yeah,
Kirchner at times, the pundit himself. Then you can also find me on my YouTube channel, Kneecap Biting with the Detroit Lions, where I go live on Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays is my NFL show. Fridays is my Lions show. You can also find me on Sideline Sports. You can find me on Let's Talk Sports. If it's sports, I'm pretty much on almost every day of the week. And then you can find my writings on the South Florida Tribune channel.com under the Motor City Tribune heading, where you'll find me under authors the likes of Scott Morganroth and George Eichhorn himself.
Right. Last but not least, us. Okay. I just want everybody to know that the Sports Exchange is being broadcast around the world. The audio version of the Sports Exchange can be heard on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast. Please hit the red subscribe button on YouTube South Florida Tribune. We're striving for 1,000 subscribers. Please also like, comment, and share the broadcast. Want to be a guest? Send topic ideas to South Florida Tribune at gmail.com. If you want to advertise cost efficiently, call me at 954-304-4941. We broadcast live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Our website is www.southfloridatribune.com. Twitter at Tribune South. Candy Ebling's been behind the scenes, does an unbelievable job. Coming later this summer, the Motor City Madmouth will be debuting on the Eagle Court Media Studios in Boca Raton, Florida, owned by Dr. Edwin Hernandez. We'll keep you posted. The Eagle Corp is a technology-based company. And of course, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, I'm working on a book now called Adjusting to New Media. Let me tell you, considering how far I've been and where I came from, it's a book that I'm working on. There'll be a textbook as well for students over at that school. So really great show tonight. Enjoyed the camaraderie that 5 of us started with and 4 of us ended with. And we welcome you. We'll have more broadcasts this week. Tomorrow night, former St. Louis Rams cheerleader Jennifer Cobb will be joining us. And then another edition of Fire Up Michigan. We'll make the determination tomorrow. We'll be on around 9 o'clock. So meanwhile, on behalf of Jacob Christner, George Eichhorn early on, Wayne Weinstein, Jeremy Ballrick, my name is Scott Morganroth of Motor City Madmouth. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Sports Exchange, and also want a special shout out to those individuals in the chat room that contributed as well. So good night, everybody. We'll catch you on the next show. Have yourself a great rest of Hump Day. Bye now.